Dear aspirant, welcome to Civil Services with ZAKI. Today we are going to discuss about the Starship and Mars-based Alpha. So see, what is Mars-based Alpha and what is the program of Starship and what are the main plans of the Elon Musk to build a habitable place on the Mars. Before we going to discuss about all that, we will request you must subscribe my channel and tell your friends and colleagues. So one thing also I want to announce with you, and my math class will be soon started, and as I earlier told you that we will complete 500 subscriptions. So some subscription will be really left, and so please tell your friends and colleagues. So we will soon start our math class with free math class. So and another thing is renaming of our channel, because now you see about the all Zoom class, and you attend Zoom class with me previous year. After the pandemic, Zoom emerged as the main online tools for the online education, online classes. So that's why I renamed our channel Civil Services with ZAKI. So it means you can contact me with not only the current affairs but also the subject like geography, optional, environment, science, and general science topics in English. So also we will start. So you also see all detail in our description. So please you must show the description on this video. So today we start with the Starship and Mars-based Alpha, and we will discuss on the basic point how the habitable place on the Mars built, and what is Mars-based Alpha, and what is the Starship, and how they use fueling and all that, and go back from the Mars to the Earth. And also we compare the Mars and the. So we will start, and today's topic is a Starship and Mars-based Alpha. So recently, Mars-based Alpha is the name given to the proposed first human base on Mars by SpaceX CEO, as you saw in the lead designer Elon Musk. So the establishment of the Mars-based Alpha will be enabled with the development of SpaceX Starship Super Heavy, capable of bringing large quantity of cargo and passenger to the surface of the Mars. It is very heavy, and it is carry 100 tons of cargo and the passenger. So first, there will be sent at least 2 cargo Starship to separate locations to confirm the best place for the sustainable human base of sustainable on the Mars. Second thing is the landing zone should be located below the elevation of the less than 40-degree latitude for the best solar power production and relatively warm temperature, and critically it must be near a massive subsurface ice deposit or water ice deposit. We discuss all detail in the animation, because animation and picture tell thousands of words. So we will move forward and see, the private space company has raised about 850 millions in the equity financing in February, even as the prototype of its Starship rocket exploded during the landing attempt after a high altitude test. So the SN9 prototype was a test model of the heavy lift rocket being developed by SpaceX and carry human and 100 tons of the cargo on the future mission on the moon and Mars. So Musk, who lead the several futuristic companies, including Tesla, Inc., Neuralink, and Boring company, said really hard threshold is in making a Mars-based alpha. So Mars-based alpha, making of Mars-based alpha, basically have very challenging thing for the making a such kind of order habitation, interplanetary habitation. So about the Starship rocket. So see about the Starship. So it is about 387-foot long Starship rocket is meant to the fully and rapidly. Then they return and they go to the land. So the most recent 3 prototypes have all exported during the testing, and the company is planning to launch Starship serial number 11 or SN 11. So, how scientists or how this Starship rocket go to the Mars and back to the Earth? So, basically, together the Starship spacecraft and super heavy rocket create a reusable transportation system. So, it is a reusable transportation system, or we can call it the Mars transportation system, capable of the orbit of refueling and leveraging Mars natural uh, water and carbon dioxide resources to refuel the surface of the Mars. So we see in a picture, so picture till 1000 watt. So see here, see. It is the Mars transportation architecture. So it is a Starship. It is a Starship, and it is the booster. So booster will be only used on Earth, not in the Mars, because the Mars gravitation is very less with the Earth. We also compare the Earth and the Mars. So first, the booster. Booster take this Starship to the space and orbit and orbital refueling done after the refueling. Then the refueled Starship back to the Earth. So return and then Starship go to the Mars. First step, go to the orbit. Second step, refueling. Third step, refuel satellite, go on the Earth. And fourth, these Starship go and come to the Mars. And finally, they use Mars local resources. This is called ISRO. In situ resource utilization. You can call it in short ISRO. And then after they refueled here, and then finally they go back to the Earth and return to the. So that's all the Mars transportation architecture. This is Mars transportation. So we move forward and go. Mars-based alpha self-sustaining human habitation. So now we move main topic Mars-based alpha. So what is Mars-based alpha and sustaining human? So the plan of the Elon Musk eventually built a 1,000 Starship rocket and launched 3 of them per day. Means they launched 3 rockets per day, and we plan to send 1 million people to the Mars. So in future days, these 1 million people will be the Mars. So after the robotic evaluation, so first we'll send 2 cargo and robotic mission for the selection of the place where they build the city or habitat. So after the robotic evaluation will be done, there will be come two Starship cargo with about a dozen of astronauts. These astronauts will execute some manual work done by human, and the main objective to build a propellant plant. So they use such type of the methane and carbon dioxide. So use for propellant. So and oxygen. So and solar. So these are built by these dozen of astronauts, as well as the greenhouse for the basically the local footprint on the Mars and landing pad for the future mission. So these work will be done by these basically two dozens of astronauts, and finally the first shuttle will be live on the landed Starship temporarily habitat, and then will be stored. So first they will temporarily habitat, and after they will the permanent habitation on Mars. So see a small animation. So animation of the Mars habitation. So after the you see Starship and Alpha, a lot of missions began in 1970s, and after that, in these 40 or 50 years, the lots of information about the Mars we collect, and now we able to understand the feasibility and the Mars feasibility and the Mars possibility of the habitation on the Mars. So see here, after the legendary some of the America's number one robotic mission, or basically these are the curiosity and opportunity. They send some significant data for the Mars habitation. And after that, the Perseverance rover. If you want more about the Perseverance rover, then you go to the our channel and see the March 2020 mission Perseverance rover. So Perseverance rover is the first rover in the history to begin the search of life on the surface of the Mars. Means microbial life, and they collect data from there. So see here. And also some of the Mars Society, and not only Elon Musk, some of the other society is also interested in the habitation on the Mars. So it is the figure viewed by the Opportunity rover, NASA. And so why Mars? Because Mars is have a past, a very good past for the liquid water and all that. So that's why Mars is the most suitable candidate for the habitation, a planetary habitation, interplanetary habitation. So, see. So these Perseverance rover collect the sample on the microbial, and after the sample return on the Earth in 2020, in 2030s, then the race on the Mars will boost up, and city will be built in the 50s and so on. So see here, and after that, the Elon Musk used some Starship. It is biological. So these Starship, Starship. So these Starship will be basically very fast and will travel Earth from the Mars in only 3 months. But these 3 months is very long period for the stellar basically interplanetary journey, because they are very vulnerable towards the cosmic radiation and solar radiation. See. And solar radiation create very lethal disease in the human, including cancer and all that. So the first challenge is to build a shield for the radiation and cover the radiation, solar radiation, and solar radiation. The second thing is if you go to the Mars, second thing is the communication. So if we communicate with the Mars, it take time about to 3 minutes to 20 minutes. It means if you calculate in the both sides, it means the minimum time difference between the Earth and the Mars will be 6 minutes. So that type of the communication will be not possible like the like you work on the Earth and etc. So basically, after you will overcome all the difficulties, then another thing is the water. So water basically situated on the north pole of the Mars, and basically north pole of the Mars, and after some near north pole of the Mars, some called Chasma Borelli also present on the Mars and water. And another is the Corallo crater. So it is a 80 kilometer wide Corallo. Corallo crater is 80 kilometer wide in the radius. So these two are the main, and also some crater have basically some ice deposit in the Martian surface. So these will be used on the water, and also some groundwater also found on the Mars. So see, some of the research also shows that these type of groundwater present on the Mars. So after you get water and all that, then after the selection of the suitable place. Suitable place will be near the equator and also the northern hemisphere where the smooth or plain surface, because plain surface have more pressure than the altitude. So these area will be basically these area on Mars is the most smooth places in the future habitation. So suitable for the future habitation. So we move forward and see another thing is the called lava tube. Lava tube also present on the Earth, and also this type of lava tube found on the Mars. So lava tube is basically very significant for the protection of the radiation, cosmic radiation, for all that. So see here. And after the building material basically the autonomous robot use the building material of the Martian regolith. So Martian regolith and another thing they will be used on the cave. So both type of the use. So that this type of robot will be used for the used for regolith for the building material of the on Mars. So, and these autonomous robots will be with 3D printed, all autonomous and 3D printed. And finally, they build houses on the Mars. And finally, after that, they build some more permanent house like this type of the permanent house. And finally, after building all that, they need some of the pressures and all. First, they build a temporary, and after they build a permanent house on the Mars. So this type of the permanent. So permanent house will be a pressurized also. This is approach to the pressure about the earth, and this is the very low pressure of the, so see here 0.0 bar, 1 bar. So after that all, then also use oxygen, and oxygen in, Martian atmosphere and Martian atmosphere. We will also compare with the Earth and Mars, and then see what is the Martian atmosphere and what is the Earth atmosphere, composition of the atmosphere. So MOXIE is as a perseverance rover, fitted with the MOXIE, and also I discussed about the MOXIE in our video Mars Perseverance rover. So MOXIE apparatus is also separate carbon dioxide from oxygen, generate oxygen from the carbon dioxide of the Martian surface. So this is very significant for the. And after that, the energy. Energy will be the two type of energy. One is solar, and another is maybe the fusion type of the reactor. So see this type of the fusion type of reactor, and after this reactor in future, and after energy, then you need the drinkable water. Drinkable water also the South Pole, and the some places on the groundwater, and also scientists use and recycle the water, and for less wastage of the water, as presently done in the International Space Station, as you see here, International Space Station. So it is also done in the International Space Station. So after you have water, you have building and all that on Mars, then you need food. So what kind of food you want to eat on Mars? So see, there are two types of the food mainly grown on the Mars. One in the greenhouse methods, and because the purifications of the Martian soil, because Martian soil has more fluoride, and after the purification, then the scientists use some nutrient and mix with the nutrient and grow some type of the vegetables on the Mars. So if you see the NASA website, so can grow plant grow on the with the soils of Mars? It is yes, grow. Why? See, all essential nutrient, it is ticked by red, also found in the Martian soil. So that is the most promising. That's why such type of the greenhouse will be realized in the Martian surface. Another way is to is hydroponics. Hydroponics means it is the agriculture of the hydro, basically this type of agriculture. So in this hydroponics, the nitrogen cycle content by these fish, and so fish and this type of vegetables and all that you can eat on the Mars. So we hope we will see in this type of, and after that, all the buildings and the cities, finally, cities will be built on the Mars. That's the Mars base Alpha, and basically Starship. This is the Starship. This is the Starship. The Starship. The Starship. And this is the Starship, and this is your Mars. So that's all about the Mars base Alpha. So when the crew will go to the Mars, and so it is tentative date is about 2026. So a crewed mission in 2026. Mars has thrown out the. So basically, it is planned in 2024, but due to some COVID and pandemic and all that, they plan rescheduled in 2026, and the uncrewed rocket will be sent on 2024, and the crewed mission will be sent 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 on the uh, sent in 2026. So we finally compare the Earth and the Mars, and what are the differences between the Mars and the Earth, and see here comparison between the Earth and Mars. So if we see the atmosphere of the Earth, atmosphere basically the most content is the 78% nitrogen and 21% of the carbon dioxide, as you know. So if you see the Mars, 95.3% is carbon dioxide, 0.13% is oxygen, 2.7% is the nitrogen. So carbon dioxide is the most abundant gas in the Martian atmosphere. If we see, but Mars is a very small, means half of the Earth. So if we see the circumference of the Earth is 40,075 kilometers, and if we see the Mars, it is 21,324 kilometers. So if we see the distance from the Sun, Earth is 150 million kilometers, it is 228 million kilometers. If we see the temperature minimum in Earth is minus 88 degree and plus 58 degree. So if we see the temperature on the Mars, it is minus 153 degree and maximum 20 degrees Celsius. So if we see the day, it is a year, 1 year of the Earth. So 1 year, 365.26 days, and on the Mars, it is 687 Earth days. So if we see the mass of the Earth, if Earth is 10 times of the mass, and it will be compared mass 0.1 times of the Earth. So if we see the tilt of the Earth and the Mars, so they tilt approximately the same. It is some different, but it is 20, Mars tilt of the axis of the Mars 25.19 degrees angle, and on Earth 23.44 degrees. So that's the comparison between the Earth and the Mars. So all that about the Mars, yes, Alpha, and Starship. So I hope you will understand what kind of the habitation and what are the difficulty to the field in the build a base on the Mars. So if you want more about Mars and Martian surface and all that, then you directly contact with me and also my team. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. My channel is Civil Services with ZAKI. ZAKI means your most knowledge and innovative idea. So basically, it is the short form of the Zoom advancement for knowledge and innovation. It is called ZAKI. So don't forget to subscribe my channel. So moving forward, and our next section is question for the UPSC. So see, question for the UPSC. Consider the following statement: Chashma Boreli, number 1. Number 2, Zizro crater. Number 3, Korolov crater. Frozen water found in which of the above places on the Mars? Your choice is A, 1 only, B, 1 and 2, C, 1 and 3, D, all of them. Please write your answer in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Tell your friends and colleagues about our initiation so we can get 500 subscribers very soon, and after that we start the batting class. So we move forward. Our next section. Next section is answer of the previous question. Consider the following statement: a floating photovoltaic solar power plant uses mirrors to redirect the solar power to the tower. It is wrong statement, because photovoltaic solar power use solar panel, not mirror. Second is a floating concentrated solar power system uses solar panel installed on the floating platform. It is also wrong. So concentrated solar power system use mirror. It is not used panel. Panel use. So both statement are wrong. So which of the above statement is are correct? A only, one only, B two only, C both one and two, D neither one nor two. So see here, one wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. It means this choice. So answer is D. So see, answer is. So that's all about Starship and Mars is Alpha. So I hope you will learn more about that, more deep knowledge about what is Starship and what is the difficulty for making for a habitable place on the Mars, and what type of food we serve on the Mars, and all that. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and share this video. Hope we will meet in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot.